All right, so here we are after you've done the pour. Um, what we use is the foam pads. This is just 2-inch rigid foam. And after you're done the pour, we like to get out there and edge it and fix any little bull float marks or anything. So we get out there, just take out all the little marks, and this works pretty good. I've used the knee boards before, and I really don't like them. I guess it's just a preference thing. If you're used to them, certainly go at it. But for me, I've tried them. I just don't really care for them. I can get on the floor a little earlier and fix something that I didn't like during the pouring process with these pads. But you still got to wait a while on it. You don't want to sink into it because if you get out there too early, you can sink into it pretty deep and make big marks all over it. And this is kind of comfortable on your knees. What we do is you just go out and buy a sheet of this, or from a job site you might have some left over, and they last quite a while. We've tried putting plastic on the bottom of them. The only drawback of this, I'm going to say, as much as I do like them, there is one downfall of them. Sometimes with your feet, especially if you have work boots or newer boots, they tend to peel the edges of the foam, so you end up with a bunch of little pieces that you end up having to pick up that fall into the concrete. They usually do that as they get older, and usually when they start getting like that, we only use them like one or two more times after that, and I just get a new set. It just gets frustrating as you're trying to edge the concrete out there, and this is so you can get a real nice edge on it before you bring the power trowel out. We like to do one pass on it like this. Get the edges all nice, get all the bull float marks out, and you can really, when you're down low on the floor like that, you can see any little things that you want to fix. And you do this before you take out the power trowel. This is when you're sinking, probably, if you could push your finger in, I'd say a little more than a quarter of an inch or so. If you put the pads on there and they dent it too much, then it's too early to do this, but it's just a matter of timing. You got to kind of learn that. So here he is, just kind of going along the edges, getting all the rocks down and filling in all the little holes along the edges. And we'll end up when you're pouring a floor and you get the power trowel out there, we'll end up going out and edging it probably 4 to 5 times to get a nice finish to the edge. And we get modified power trowels that we can get them really tight to the wall, but in the corners you can only get so close. My machine will get about a ½ inch off the edge of the wall. I can modify it to get me a little bit closer than that, but near the very end we'll actually just run the trowel on edge. Basically not the full width of the blade. These are 16-inch mags or trowels, but you'll be using a trowel at the end. But it's 4 inches wide, so we'll just run it real quick right up the edge, and then you'll run the machine right to it, and you'll have nice edges. There's a lot of the floors. One of the things you can tell if a guy finishes a floor nice is how do the edges look, because that's kind of the most time-consuming part of the job, and the machines don't get right up tight to the wall. Some of them might. I think they make some new models that can get really close, and like I said, we modified the cages on mine. We cut them back, and we brought them in tighter, so they get tighter to the wall than a normal machine, but you still got to do a little bit of edge work to it. Not much, but like I said, we do about 4 or 5 passes. And this is just to show you, after you're done the pour, what do you got to do? Let's say you don't even have a power trowel and you have a small little project, and you're not going to go out and spend $180 or whatever they are, $150 on a set of knee boards. And in the past, we've used plywood, and then that kind of hurts your knees, and it's a pain in the neck to pick up. Since this is 2-inch rigid foam, it's comfortable on your knees, and it's easy to pick up. So you have 2 of them, you work from one, and you just keep moving them back and forth. You can do it in a certain way. You really shouldn't have to go back over your tracks. So we typically go around the perimeter, and we'll go across the floor and take out the bull float marks, and give it one pass. And if you use a mag, it kind of brings up all the cream and fills in all the little spots that you wanted to fix up. And you can do a lot of that with a power trowel. But if you waited just to do the first pass of the power trowel, your edges start to get hard, and then you're going to